Welcome to the Cruising is Life podcast. Whether you're a seasoned cruiser or just starting out, we have something for everyone. So sit back, relax, and get ready to set sail with us on the Cruising is Life podcast.
All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Cruising is Life podcast. Welcome back for another weekly episode. Today we are joined by Dimitri, our usual co-host, and Justin is not here today. And we are actually joined by Caleb, who is Cruise Ship Media. Welcome back to the podcast. It's been a while.
Hey.
If you want to go ahead and quickly shout yourself out or just kind of show, say where you're at and, where they can find you real quick before we get started.
I'm Caleb, Cruise Ship Media. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, X, everything, and I continue to edit and upload at a very slow pace.
I was just giving him crap the other day. He just posted the video from the maiden voyage of Icon. He just posted that a week ago.
Better late than ever, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
but nonetheless, glad to have you back. But yeah, today we got a exciting topic here. We're gonna Carnival announced a really interesting thing that they've done it in the past once before, which is pretty cool. And I think this is the really cool part about I think it's cool because partially Carnival's the only one that's really doing something like this. Back in 22, they had the 50th anniversary of Carnival where they did the quote unquote celebrations and where they had all the big ship meetups. But now they're doing that again in 2026.
Wow.
Yeah.
This time, what's that?
Out of nowhere, just all of a sudden, hey, we're doing this for America's 250th birthday, so it's cool.
Yeah, that's the cool thing. I guess it was out of nowhere. I really wasn't expecting or planning for them to do something like that. But it is cool that they do it. And again, like you said, it was for the 250th birthday anniversary, whatever you want to call it. For the U.S. as 2026 is kind of the 250th anniversary of the country. So it's cool that they're celebrating in that way because they're kind of, I don't know. I mean, they're kind of the more popular brand here in the U.S. A lot of the other ones are a little bit more worldwide. I know Royal obviously has a pretty big presence now compared to a few years ago, but nonetheless, they have the red, white, and blue colors and everying like that. So I feel like it's fitting.
Literally red, white, and blue. They have no excuse to not.
Right, exactly. But yeah, it's pretty cool that they're doing that, and they're doing it. It doesn't seem like they're doing it in such a big way as they did for the 50th anniversary, as far as the number of ships that are meeting up. They're doing one on the East Coast and then one here or one over on the West Coast, which I feel like they did 2 or 3 in the Caribbean, and then they did one out obviously in the West Coast. So that's interesting, but cool.
So a question: when Royal Caribbean did that meetup with the 3 Oasis classes back in the early 2010s, was that on an actual cruise, or did they just not have a cruise going on during that time?
For when Harmony came out?
Yes.
So with Harmony, it was very, very good timing because Oasis was doing a 3-day cruise from Fort Lauderdale to Port Canaveral or something along those lines. It was a short cruise where it was repositioning. And then Allure was coming in to debark the following day, and Harmony was coming in from its transatlantic.
Got it. So they all just happened to be in the general area.
They all happened to be just a mile off the coast of Fort Lauderdale at the same time, essentially. Purposely, but also, it just kind of lined up that way with their scheduling that they could, just be a little bit ahead to do something like that.
Makes sense.
Nice. That's essentially what they did, back in 2010 when the Allure came out. It was, the Allure was, coming in or something along those lines, and they were just meeting up out at sea anyways. Oasis probably came back a little bit early or something like that. But yeah,
I
nonetheless,
remember that was so cool.
yeah, I know that used to like be the Oasis in the Allure was originally like my screensaver on like my desktop growing up. That was like my favorite picture ever.
Yeah, that is a good picture.
Yeah, I know it's never gonna happen, but I really want them to do it again with all the other Oasis class ships, but now they're all over the place.
Yeah, they're all over the place now. It's tough for them to do that, especially obviously not confirmed, but I wouldn't be surprised if we eventually see Wonder go over to Asia, just with the arrival of a seventh and expected, at least I expect an eighth Oasis class ship. We'll see if we actually get that far. But if we end up with as many Oasis classes, I'm anticipating, then probably going to be pretty tough to do, especially 8 ships. Yeah. It's just really, really hard at that point. I think they kind of missed their opportunity because I think a lot of people are like, oh, why didn't you do that with Symphony? They're like, oh, well, we'll do that when Oasis 5 comes out. Well, then there was Oasis 6, Utopia, and it's like, yeah, this isn't happening.
Time is flying, and they got it.
Yeah, they kind of missed the opportunity there, but it is what it is. But it's cool that Carnival's doing something like this. Obviously it's a lot more, easy for them to do it when it's not trying to fit like specific classes together like that. It's just, hey, these are all our Florida ships. We're going to get them all together in the Bahamas.
Yeah, true.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And so this also is taking place on 4th of July of 2026, so that the actual, like, America's quote-unquote birthday. So it's not like a random week or, like a normal thing that's going to happen in 2026 or anything like that. But essentially June 28th, I think the celebration, and I'm only pointing out the celebration because I will not confirm or deny because my parents are watching this, that we have booked that specific sailing. But... the rat's out of the bag. Mom and Dad, if you're listening, we have not booked any of these cruises. But anyway,
too broke.
Right. But meetup number 1, I'm looking at the thing here now. That way I could just make sure I get all the right ones. But Celebration is going to be... I'm surprised that Mardi Gras is not on this list. I feel like it would have been really cool if they had Celebration and Mardi Gras, or even the Jubilee. Yeah. And maybe there's going to be a third meetup that they haven't just announced yet because they're still working on it. Yeah, they don't have Mardi Gras or Jubilee on here, which is kind of surprising. And at that time, it's not even like we're going to have the 4th and 5th XL ships yet either. So it's like...
taking their time.
Well, they have to, because there's other companies out there that are taking up too much of the shipyard space at this point.
Well, that sucks for them.
Yeah, that's a Carnival problem. But nonetheless, it's Carnival Celebration, Carnival Conquest, Elation, Glory, Sunrise, Venezia, and Vista. That will be meeting up off the coast of, I believe it'll probably be end up being Nassau, I'm assuming, or somewhere in the Bahamas. So some of the the shorter cruises, and then of course the Vista Celebration Key would be a great place to do it. Actually, I would not be surprised if they did. That would be the place to do it, really. Especially with it being the new island, 2026. I mean, the island's going to be like a year old or open for only a year at that point. That's perfect.
And the other thing is that...
Do you think the island's going to...
Keep going, Caleb. Sorry.
Oh, no. Yeah, I was wondering, do you think they're going to have that other pier for Celebration Key open by then?
Yes. I think they're planning to have it open.
To do 4 ships there.
So I think they're planning to have that ready right away. I'll have to double check that, but they have 4 ship days there right off the bat almost. Let's see.
Interesting.
That's gonna be chaos having that many Carnival ships.
Dude, it's gonna be so cool though, because there's I've seen it's Elation, Celebration, and 2 Conquest class and stuff like that. It's gonna be packed there. But they have a huge expansion that's going to come in a couple months after too.
That's crazy.
So what I was hinting at was, I know Elation keeps coming up. They're keeping her around, and I'm assuming Paradise as well.
Yeah, they've put so much money into those two fantasy class ships that stayed around, rightfully so. But
People love
they've
them.
put so much money into them. Yeah, at this point, it's worth just keeping them around. Let's see. So yeah, in addition to 2 berths slated to be completed by 2025, the expansion will add 2 more berths at Decatur Carnival's largest XL ships when complete in 2026. So yeah, maybe it'll be done by that point.
Nice.
Crazy.
I could have sworn it was earlier than that, but yeah, they have like 4 ship days like immediately almost, which is pretty sweet. Good that they're doing that.
It's gonna be crazy crowded. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, like I guess the 2, 3, however many cruises I have booked now that are going there. Like I think they're only 2 ship days. When we do, this specific week, the celebration will be there with the Horizon, which is cool. That'll be fun to see. The Horizon's not in this meetup though.
I think she does the same itinerary we're doing, but opposite. So she won't even be nearby.
I think you're right. I know she's.
Or it's like it goes to like San
Trying to
Juan and Grand Turk or something. But I remember looking
Yeah.
and seeing that she does the exact same thing, but it's flipped.
Oh, really? Okay. Because I know she's normally on like the 6 and 8, so I'm assuming that she's on a 6 since we come back on that Sunday, and it's the Magic instead. So I'm assuming, yeah, she must be on a 6 or something. But so because that Saturday is the July 4th, and that's the meetup is that Saturday, which is weird. Like I thought, they could have easily made that one specific cruise like an 8 night for the Mardi Gras, just so it can, or even the Jubilee like a 9 day or like a, an off scheduled 7 or something like that. But yeah, it's cool though. I mean, wish they could have gotten those extra ships in there, but nonetheless, I mean, but like Horizon in this case would be debarking on July 4th.
That's thanks. I'd love to have that ship there.
Yeah. The double Vista class, though, with Venezia and Vista is pretty sweet. That's going to be cool to see. We're going to have double Conquest, the Sunrise, then, of course, the Celebration and Elation. I'll take it.
That's a weird one, but weird lineup. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely won't see all those ships out, at sea just together like that anyways, so... It seems like it's going to be a really neat experience, like for anybody that does some of these sailings.
Absolutely.
And then over on the West Coast side, it's funny that I don't see Panorama on here. Again, why didn't they just do like a random like off-scheduled cruise to do it? Because I'm assuming she'll be, doing Embarkation Day on the 4th this specific calendar year. But it'll be the Firenze, Luminosa, and the Radiance meeting up off of Baja, Mexico.
The fact that half of it are old Costa ships.
Right. Oh my God, you're right.
That's crazy.
That's funny, actually. I did not even realize that until you pointed that out. That is really funny.
Imagine just seeing me on the Radiance and being like, "Oh, hey, there's a." Oh wait, that's a Firenze.
Right. Right, for sure. Actually, I just saw here, it actually does confirm that at sea outside Celebration Key for this specific meetup on the East Coast side of it. So that's going to be really neat.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We'll be
Actually, have you
Celebration
seen,
Key.
did I send it in our group chat the other day with the progress that's being made on it so far?
Yeah,
They have like that
insane.
big like sandcastle entrance looking thing. It's like actually coming up and taking shape, which is really cool.
About time they better start crack-a-lacking. They ain't got that much time.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. Yeah, they've only got about 6 months until Celebration Key opens up. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm
I
excited.
hope they also do some PR/media cruises and do a soft launch and not, throw paying, customers on, let's say, an expensive Excel class ship the first time there.
Right.
And it goes to just like Disney's Lighthouse Point did.
Yeah, Disney's Lighthouse Point was so Disney. I love you guys, but that island is just not. It's not finished, is what it is. Like the island looks nice, but it's not finished. There's just like nothing there. Actually, so I mean, it's yeah. There's like no shade. There's no. There's really no buildings. There's no. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
I'll stick with Castaway.
Yeah. So July 19th is the very first day of Celebration Key of 2025. That is a 8 nights on the Carnival Vista, 8 night or Bonaire Aruba Celebration Key. That's actually really cool. I like that. Instead of going to like, La Romana or Grand Turk or something like that, I'd take Celebration Key.
Oh yeah, I think they're going to start doing that. And the other thing is that La Romana got like a Amber Cove treatment recently
really?
with like a resort area. I think I had said that a couple podcasts ago.
Oh,
but I had seen that. I found that interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely needed it.
Yeah, it did. It was very sketch.
But it looks like they're kind of doing a little bit of a soft open for it, or at least trying to just kind of work their way into it, because it's Vista, the next day it's the Conquest, Vista again, the first double. So a couple days later, I guess the fourth day after opening, so the 22nd or third or fourth day, it's the Conquest and the Glory are there together. So those are pretty manageable.
That's cool.
So then Freedom and Liberty, Elation by itself, Pride and Mardi Gras. So really the first, a good week goes by before, it gets its first XL class ship, but it's the Pride and the Mardi Gras together, which is pretty sweet.
Oh, good.
So it seems like they've got a couple days built in to kind of buffer. It's, make sure, they can kind of work out the kinks the first few days. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do like media sailing, or maybe not even media sailings, but like, a few tests trying to get in there.
Yeah.
But July 19th, I see the question in the chat, but July 19th of 2025, so next year, is the first day for a Celebration Key, and it'll be the Vista that goes there. That's a cool cruise on the Vista. Actually, that would be a really fun one to do.
Yeah, but that means you have to sail on the Vista.
I have no problem with that.
You may not get to where you're trying to go.
Then that's it.
Yeah.
Can't make it off the dock.
That's true. The Vista has a lot of propulsion problems. She seems to be fine. Like for some reason, like after she had that like week where she didn't do anything, then she was had trouble getting off the dock again. But now it's like it's fine. Like I haven't heard anything since, like no tugs or anything like that. So it's very funny, but who knows? It seems to be fine now.
I want to try Vista one day.
The Vista class is very nice. That's one of my favorite classes. I feel like I say that a lot, but I mean the Vista class is a very nice design.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think it's probably the biggest change that Carnival had done in a long time, so I'll definitely give them that. Obviously not as big as a change from the Vista class to the Mardi Gras, but still. They kind of acknowledged, like, all right, we know we have to change it up, so we're going to change it up a little bit because it's a little too similar to the Dream class, so we're going to make do with what we can do. So they did. Overall, I think they did a good job. I like the class a lot. It's not the Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
But the Mardi Gras is that XL class is just unbelievable. I'm excited to get on that class again with Celebration, and you guys will like it because I know both of you guys are coming. So it's a big ship spotting group cruise for those who are interested in all that. Kind of like we did on the Liberty of the Seas. We're doing Carnival Celebration this time around, so that'll be really fun.
Wait, so Caleb, are you with Gerald?
Yeah, I'm with Gerald, and I think Adam's coming, actually.
Yes.
Yay.
We need to have Adam come on this podcast sometime. Adam's Away is his, Instagram, and I don't know what else he's on. I think he's on TikTok. I don't think he's on YouTube. But he's a very, very cool guy, and we should have him on the podcast sometime. Next week, we have Cruising with Calandra coming on. We're doing a MSC Meraviglia review. He's on board right now, actually. So that'll be
Lovely.
cool. I haven't talked to him a whole lot, but he seems like a cool guy, and I kind of like chatted with him through like comments and just like random DMs. But glad to, kind of have him on the podcast and stuff like that next week. So I'm also interested to see how the Meraviglia is, and out of New York and all that too. But back on topic though. So what are your thoughts like on this whole the meetup thing? Like, is it is this something like Carnival should like keep doing for like little milestones like this, or?
I personally think they should do it more often. I wish there was more ships for this one, but I think it was kind of the last second, like, hey, these planes line up. Let's just try to fit something in here. And I checked for a celebration cruise. Once we leave, I think it's Amber Cove or Grand Turk. We have a sea day back, but on that sea day back, probably towards the end of the day is when the celebration is going to begin. So we probably got to haul butt back up there.
Yeah, it doesn't take that long. We probably leave Amber Cove pretty early too. We got a pretty good lineup that cruise too. I think it's. I've got the note here.
I remember looking at it. It's like at best.
It was like, it was like decent, and then with the meetup at the end though, kind of makes it really good, but. And it's also the middle of the summer. It's 4th of July week. You're not going to get good itinerary. For the summer, it's a good lineup. For, any other time of year, it's okay. But I'll take it. For the summer, I'll definitely take it, because that's a good summer lineup, because you usually don't get anything nearly this busy during the summer. But Miami,
it's also pretty far out.
Right, that too. Things could change. We could also get extra ships added in there. But Miami, it's Celebration, Horizon, and Norwegian Escape. It'll be cool to see her in Miami again. Celebration Key, we're with Horizon, Nassau. Interesting that we go to Nassau, but it's Celebration, Sunrise, Freedom, Seaside. Amber Cove is us and Caribbean Princess again in Grand Turk.
Not too bad.
Not too bad. And then Debark is pretty much the same Celebration, but Magic instead of Horizon, and then Escape.
And did you say Celebration Key yet?
Yeah, we're with Horizon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We will be with the horizoning the whole time.
But yeah, I think it's cool that Carnival does stuff like this. I'm sure it's probably very difficult to do logistically, but if they can do this more often, I think it'd be great. Just little celebration, little milestones here and there. Obviously, they probably not every year, because then it's not as special. But little things like this, like the 50th anniversary, like maybe and so it'd be 27. Like do a 55th anniversary celebration type of thing, or when all these XL ships come together, like that'd be really cool to see too.
Yeah, I like how for all the promo stuff, it's just 5 XL ships lined up. So
that's it. Oh, I would love to see that in person. That would be so cool. It's so rare that you even get double XL class like in the same port. I think it was Celebration and Jubilee or in Costa Maya together once, and that was about it.
I want to see that so bad.
That would have been really cool to see. But yeah, other than that, that's kind of all of it. So we're going to kind of just jump into like little cruise chat here, and we'll kind of also keep an eye on the chat here on our live stream for any questions, maybe a little bit of Q&A. But first, we'll quickly kind of touch on the Disney Treasure is now here in Port Canaveral. We're back in Port Canaveral now, doing a bunch of test cruises, and she's going to be taking over for the 7-night itinerary. I think the Fantasy is still doing 7s, or she's already moved to 4 and 5s. But Treasure is going to be doing some 7s and 8s for the next couple weeks until her big debut in December.
That ship was very early.
I know. They finished it like a whole month early, because it was originally supposed to go straight to New York. yeah, with the Wish, I know it was, they did a month of test cruises, and I guess that's normal these days. It seems like a lot, especially with new classes. But like this is the second, so but it must be just like media
Yeah.
previews. But like they were originally supposed to go from the shipyard straight to New York, but she came to Canaveral like a week or two ahead of time. But so
She
now
looks
it's kind of
great.
like the actual. Yeah, she looks really good.
I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it, but like, there's something about it that makes it like that looks better compared to Wish. I don't know what though.
The horns are
I know it's
much
the
better.
Really.
I don't know if Dimitri has, but Caleb, I think you've heard the Wish's horns. Like it, I mean, well, actually, I know you have because it was
We've
the
heard
horns
it
were
in
broken.
Nassau.
Yeah, the horns were broken as we were standing right next to the ship in Nassau one time. But like the Wish's horns are good, I guess. They're pretty high pitched. Most people don't like them. I really just think they're horns. But they're pretty high pitched, and they have had a lot of problems over the last 2 years. But these ones, they're pitched a little bit better. They're just tuned overall a little bit better, and they sound good. There's a few. I think it still needs a little bit more fine tuning. I think it was When You Wish Upon a Star. Like 1 or 2 notes were just like not there, or they just kind of like fell in their face a little bit. But overall, I think the tone, and they're just not nearly as high pitched. They sound normal, I guess, which is good.
Got it.
But yeah,
Have you seen
Treasure seems like a great ship so far.
Have you seen the treasure yet, Dimitri?
I have not. I'll see it next week when we're on Voyager. She'll be there with Wish, and they're both leaving that day. So.
Oh, that's right. They're going to be Wish and Treasure together. That's going to be such a cool thing to see.
Yeah, they're going to be like docked right next to each other.
Right, yeah. Wish is going to be at 10 and...
10 and 8.
10 and 8, yeah. But yeah, it'll be really cool to see. Unfortunately, I have to work that day.
Go down there and see it.
Yeah,
No, you're coming.
The day I'm looking at going is like I think December 9th. It's gonna be Wish, Treasure, Caribbean Princess, Utopia.
Oh, really?
Carnival,
That's the
Glory.
day that we're there.
Really?
Yeah, the 9th.
Yep, the 9th is when I'll be there. Yeah.
Very nice.
Sweet.
I'll wait for you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that day is... Actually, Treasure comes in. She comes in on the 8th. She just doesn't leave until the 9th. But she comes in at like 6:30 in the morning on that Sunday, though. But that's going to be cool. The Vista, Wonder, Seashore, and then Treasure will be sitting at 8. And then, but yeah, the next day on the 9th, when Dimitri's going on Voyager, it'll be Wish, Treasure, Utopia, Glory, Voyager, and Caribbean Princess. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a full day. Oh my god.
I'll be
That's
there.
insane.
It's a Monday. I don't care. I'll be there.
That's a Monday, yeah. If I had unlimited PTO, I'd be there, but
I told you.
I got too many cruises. I got too many cruises booked to be taking additional days to go ship spotting, unfortunately. But yeah, Treasure seems to be doing just like all sorts of random stuff for now. Like she's gonna be back on Sunday. I'll be going to see her again on Sunday. And then she'll be back again. I guess she comes back. So that's the 1st. So yeah, she'll be back the 8th. So it sounds like she's on a 7-day next week. So that makes sense.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
good for them.
yeah. I mean, and then so it'll be that's the 9th. So probably another 7-day, 2 7-day sailings. So it really is doing like 4 full like 7 or 8 day cruises.
Wild.
And then-
like for media.
Yeah, I'm assuming for media.
The cast members.
Yeah,
That's
it's mostly for cast members and and the vloggers and people.
Yeah.
How to apply to be a Disney cast member.
I know, right?
Yeah, that'll be. But and then also, I guess in regards to Port Canaveral news, we also have the Caribbean Princess started up sailing today in Port Canaveral. It's the first time we've ever had a princess ship.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I mean, Caribbean Princess is kind of one of the older ones. It's not overly exciting. It's not the Sun or one of the Royal class, but it's still pretty cool to have. I mean, again, we've never had a princess ship here.
They've already announced, I think, Sky's coming here next year.
Yes. So next year it's going to be Sky Princess, and then the year after it's going to be Caribbean and Sky.
Doubling down. That's cool.
Yeah. That'll be really cool to see. Hopefully they have that additional terminal by then, because they're going to need it.
I don't think they will. I don't think we'll be getting a terminal for a while.
We're not going to be getting that new terminal, unfortunately, as soon as we need it.
No, we need the SpaceX.
Yeah, we definitely need it for SpaceX.
No further comments.
Yeah. And it looks like the 3rd, which is a Tuesday, I guess this coming Tuesday, right? The Celebrity Equinox is going to start sailing out of Port Canaveral. So she's going to take over this Saturday. Celebrity. I know. And so, yeah, this year she's going to be doing the 7-night itineraries out of Port Canaveral. And then on the Saturdays, filling up that Saturday spot that Royal Caribbean's never really used for some reason. I always felt like Royal Caribbean is really missing out by not putting a 7-day ship on Saturdays. But it is what it is, I guess.
I think what was holding them back the most was parking, but now that they have that big surface slot in Terminal 1, now they can start putting Utopia on 3 and 4s, and now they can put a ship on Saturdays out of there.
Yeah. I mean, they've got a lot of ships. They're really going all in on Port Canaveral lately, and I like it. They've got,
I love it.
Of course, Utopia doing 3s and 4s. They've got Star of the Seas, next year, and obviously Wonder right now. And they've got, 2 Voyager class ships. They got the Adventure doing 6 and 8s, and right now the Voyager, and next year the Explorer doing 4s and 5s. I mean, they're really focusing a lot on Port Canaveral. They're giving us a lot of options too. We've got a 3 all the way up to essentially 8-night sailings. Any number of days that we have an option for from them.
All really good ships as well, which is really awesome.
That too, yeah. It's not like they're putting a Vision class. Nothing wrong with a Vision class, but it's more of they're putting their bigger heavy hitters in these ports like the Voyager class, the Icon class, the Oasis class, things like that.
Even though the Voyager class is older than most people realize, it's still just really well kept up with.
Voyager turned 25, 2-3 weeks ago? Days ago? How many?
It was a couple days ago.
A couple days ago? Yeah, 25 years. That ship was so advanced for being 25 years old. I mean, I say the same thing about Oasis, when it comes to being 15. But oh my god, that they were able to do an ice skating rink and all sorts of stuff. That was back in the 1990s still. Yep. That's pretty impressive.
I think the promenade is what revolutionized the whole thing.
That too. That was a really big feat in and of itself. Back then. I mean, that was a big structural accomplishment. For that class. Just having to figure out how when it comes to the fire doors and things like that, and also just the structural integrity of the ship too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Royal Caribbean's really done some of their older ships like the Vision class, the Radiance class, they definitely seem older because they're a little bit smaller. But it's funny enough, the Radiance class came out at the same time, if not maybe just slightly after the Voyager class. But yeah, I mean, you look at those ships, they don't look 25 years old, 20 years old. I mean, Mariner's 20.
So I have a lot to say about the Radiance class after finally going on it. They are still just Royal Caribbean. They stand out. They're amazing.
Let's hear it. Let's hear your little quick review.
Give us a 5-minute.
Quick 5 minute. So this is my first Royal Caribbean cruise, older ship. The oldest Royal Caribbean ship I've been on was Indy, so I didn't know what I was expecting going into it. It was just kind of fun because I didn't really know the layout because like you can go on Quantum class, Voyager class, because they all have like that promenade setup. This one has an atrium setup, which completely changes the layout of everything.
Okay.
It was really really fun. It was such a fun, beautiful ship. There's so many little things here and there that just like really elevated the experience. Just honestly, like probably my new favorite ship. Really, it was that awesome. I loved it.
That's cool.
It's
What kind of room did you
and
have?
I had an aft facing balcony,
Oh, I loved
which
that on
that
Glory.
probably added to it.
Yeah, for sure. I like this chat that I see. Quickly jumping off topic here, but I see a chat here that says, "I'll put $10 on it. I bet Liberty of the Seas will take over 6 and 8s when Adventure moves to Fort Lauderdale." Could you imagine 6
I'd
and
be
8
on it.
nights out of Port Canaveral on Liberty of the Seas? I'd love that.
Be great.
I'd book it right away.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. I mean, she's older. She's gonna get renovated though, so she'll be in really good shape when she comes to Canaveral. But that would be awesome. The only thing with that, but I'm pretty sure the project will at least be done. They have to dredge the back part of Terminal 5 to get it to fit in there because it's a little shallow towards the edge there. They're gonna make it just like a clean drop off as part of that new terminal project. But I think as long as they still do that dredging project, it should fit. I don't think it'll fit right now. It's very close, but if they still do that dredging, I would love to see that. That would be amazing to see a Freedom class back there.
Canaveral needs Freedom class.
Yeah, I miss having a Freedom class here, honestly. There's only
Right.
3 of them, so we don't have, it's slim pickings, compared to, like the Oasis class where there's 6 and, the Voyager class, we got 5 of those and stuff like that. But the Freedom class are amazing ships. They're awesome. I would love to have Navigator if we could, but I don't think that's happening.
No, I wish.
Yeah.
I would love to have Navigator back. I would sell a Navigator in a heartbeat if they put it in Florida.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to sail on. I remember I saw Navigator when she was brand new. I was sailing on the Carnival Sensation at the time, and we were docked right next to Navigator in Nassau, and it was the world's largest ship at the time, of course. And I just remember looking up the ship and be like, "Whoa! Like this thing is massive." And so ever since that day, I was like, I want to go on the Navigator of the Seas, and never have. But now that she's got all the big renovations, those renovations they did to that ship look awesome too. So
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to sail on her.
I should have put that stuff on Mariner. I'm just saying, that crazy slide.
Yeah, she's the only one that got that really crazy lay down slide too.
That was awesome.
Yeah. They did a good job with Mariner. They did Mariner and Navigator at the same time, but completely different.
Yeah. And that, how Mariner has a sky pad and then Navigator doesn't. Kind of, made them two different in their own ways.
Yeah.
Sky pad doesn't work anymore, though, so. Navigator
Yeah,
on.
they took everything out of those sky pads and then just decided, yeah, we're gonna put something else in there, and that was a year ago that they announced that they were gonna put something else different in there, and they never have.
I always thought they were going to put a bar in there.
How did I not know when Voyager came out in the top where the slides are and the flow rider, they had an inline skating track up there for you to rollerblade.
Oh my God, you're right. I remember that because my grandparents.
What is that track looking thing up there? And then I'm looking at a diagram now. It says inline rollerblading skate track.
Yeah,
That is such a 90s thing to put on a ship.
such a 90s thing to do on the ship. My grandparents actually sailed on Voyager when she was brand new. And my grandfather would always do, videos and stuff like that, which is probably part of where I get it from. But he would always do videos when we went on cruises, and he did a video when they went on it, and I remember him showing oh yeah, this is where you do your inline roller skating, which is funny because so they had roller skating and rollerblading, or not rollerblading, that's the same thing. Ice skating. Yes, roller skating and ice skating on the same ship. What?
Yes.
Icon
two
Connect.
very interesting, accomplishments there with that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I see in the chat it says, so you're definitely not going on Celebration, wink wink. I want to book either Venezia or the Celebration for that cruise. So originally Caleb was going to try to do a different ship and be like, oh, like, hi, I see you from the other thing, but he ended up coming with us. They actually booked the room right next to us, which is cool.
Oh, you guys did? Oh, well.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's me, Justin, and Dimitri are all in one room. And then it's Caleb, Jerry, and Adam in the room next to us. Tyler is unfortunately in school at the time, so he's not coming. Or he'll be away. I don't know where. He said he was doing something. But
yeah,
I think it was part of his piloting scholarly things.
go get it, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, we got a pretty cool balcony too. Like it's kind of on that corner where if some of it's hard to kind of like explain, verbally instead of like physically showing like on the deck plans. But I guess for like people listening, so like on the XL ships, it kind of has like the sections that are flat and then they jut in a little bit, and then they'll in that center section or the center to mid. Yeah, Caleb's got a thing for the video. So where it kind of like sticks in and then there's a corner where it sticks back out on the back. We have one of those balconies that stick out. It was basically the same balcony category, but we got a balcony that's twice the size of a normal one, which is awesome. And then they just got the balcony next door.
That's crazy.
That Celebration model is awesome, by the way.
It's the best. It's the best model.
I'm mad that I just got one. Now that we're actually sailing.
I know, me too.
I'm like, bruh, I just got that model. But
No,
I'm hyped. I'm hyped.
So, the newest Carnival ship I've ever been on was a Pride.
Really?
Yeah, so I've never been on anything this new, so I'm stoked. I've always wanted to go on an XL class.
Yeah, the XL class is amazing. Plus, they have all the good stuff. They have they have obviously Guy's Burgers, but they have Shaq's Chicken, which was awesome. Breakfast was not great, but the regular like just chicken was very, very good.
I want to try Chi Bang while we're on there.
That was like Chinese and Mexican like mixed, isn't it? That's super. Yeah. That's like a weird concept. I've heard like good things from it though.
It's weird, but I like weird.
Well, I know you do.
Don't look at me. Listen, I have a Bahamas Paradise model and you don't.
All right, I mean, Bahamas Paradise is not something I'm like overly, appealing to me, but having a model of it is because it's one of those weird ships is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I want an Islander model. I do. I don't know if I want to sail on the Islander. And I don't know if I've been completely sold just yet. I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I don't know if I'm sold just yet. But the Islander models look pretty cool.
I'll do a mission. I'll go get us models, Captain.
I thought you canceled that cruise.
I did, but I'll rebook it.
Brutal. Yeah, rebook it just so you get the models for everybody.
I will. Yeah, I got you, boys. I'll bring a suitcase.
Yeah, you'll be like Adam on the Utopia. Adam did one of like the inaugural sailings like with all the travel agents and all that. He's not, but he has a friend that is a travel agent, so that's how we got to go. But I remember we were like, oh, just in case they sell out, like, can you get us all models? And he came off of that cruise with like 6. I was on the cruise like 3 weeks later, and they still had plenty of them, which was great. But it was like a peace of mind thing, because that was the biggest stress for me. Like with Icon, I was like, I hope they have models still, because they were all over eBay for like hundreds of dollars for like the longest time. I was like, uh-oh, I am not getting a model.
Yeah. I'm really excited for Celebration, though.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited for, speaking of ship models, we're going on, Dimitri and I are going on Norwegian Joy. That model I'm very excited to get. That's like one of the best looking NCL models.
Yeah, that and Encore.
Yeah, the Encore is it's like, I think they might be the same mold, but yeah, like those two models, which sucks because like the Bliss is completely different. The Bliss is like a worse version of the Escape, and the Escapes is like decent. But
well, there were two versions of the. There's two versions of the Escape, and there's two versions of the Bliss.
Oh, really? Is there a new one?
Yeah.
I guess I had one of the. I was I was on like the second ever cruise for the Bliss, so I guess I got one of the earliest models you can get.
I have one of the later ones, and it's very similar to Joy, but they made sure like the pool's in the right place, the slides are the right color, and the track is different.
You may have to send me a picture of that later because I kind of want to see that now. I did not know there was a second or like an updated model, but that's cool.
Yeah, and especially for the Escape one too. The Escape one originally had the Getaway slides, but then they added the tube one version, so that has the tube one.
So I got one of the original ones for the Escape as well. My grandparents were on it like a couple weeks after it came out, and it actually has the tube slide. But I have seen the Escape models that have the Getaway slides. Well, it's so weird. So it was like they went from like having the right ones to the wrong ones, and I'm assuming now they've hopefully got the right ones back on there.
Hopefully.
Yeah, pretty cool though. I don't like getting like random like variants and just like, you know, one-offs, you know, where it's like, oh, they messed these ones up, or like this one's inaccurate, but they changed it and like there's a new version that is accurate. I love like getting models like that. Like those are like the coolest ones to me.
Yeah.
Like my Allure of the Seas model that I have, where it has all the upgrades to it, coolest one because they never did it, and I'm assuming that the updates are going to be a little bit different to where who knows what the Allure model is about to actually look like. You know, is it going to look like the Utopia model? Is it going to look just like the Oasis model again? Or are they going to color the slides differently? Like, what are they going to do with it? So, like, those little one-offs, like, that's, like, the coolest one because, like, it never looked like that, too.
Yeah.
Your door just, like, suddenly opened, and it's kind of concerning. I think there's a ghost in your room.
Winston.
Oh, hey!
Hey, Caleb, you want your food?
No, I'll be out there in a little.
Okay.
I think it's dinner time for Caleb.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're coming up on time anyways, so it might end up being a little bit of a short podcast anyways. But yeah, this was kind of, you know, a little bit of a random episode nonetheless, but I think it was cool just to kind of, you know, talk about, you know, Carnival doing this, you know, kind of a slow week on news to where we didn't have anything like significant to talk about, like an entire podcast. So, but yeah, cool treasures here. Caribbean Princess is here. Celebrity Equinox is coming in. Voyager of the Seas just started up as well. Speaking of Voyager, just started up the other day.
Norwegian and sold like everything and moved everything around.
Yeah, I did mean to go over that, but yeah, the weirdest thing is they're like not announcing the new home ports for some of these. Norwegian canceled like a lot of their Indian Ocean and like South America cruises or something like that, or South America cruises too. I think, yeah, I said South America. I think they had some like in like South Africa though too, that are all just canceled, and they're redeploying them to the Western Caribbean, which is great, but they're just not announcing where they're home porting, which is odd. Like they moved the Jewel moved from Tampa to Miami, but now like what's going to Tampa?
No clue.
So I'm hoping it's Star because I've never seen Star in person, so I would definitely go out to Tampa to see Star.
Also, before we wrap it up, I actually do have it's like, I think it's public, so I'm still going to say it, but apparently Norwegian is selling 2 ships.
Selling 2 ships?
Yeah.
Who's your source on that, bud?
Yeah, come on, APA format.
Cite your sources here, bud. We're on a podcast.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's...
According to my source, myself, I'm just kidding. I thought it was the southern side, but it's actually the Dawn and Star, it looks like.
Wait, what?
Interesting.
Whoa.
It won't be for another few years.
Like they sold them or they're up for sale?
They're up for sale.
Up for sale. Okay. Yeah. No, the Vision of the Seas has been up. Vision of the Seas has been up for sale since 2015. So I guess that doesn't mean a whole lot, but they cannot get rid of that thing. Same with the Grandeur. They finally got rid of it, and the company went bankrupt. Ugh. But yeah, that is interesting. I'm interested to see like where they put those ships. I hope the Star comes in. I would kind of imagine the Sun and the Sky would have been the two, but at the same time, like those are their very adventurous ships. They kind of just like put them all over the place, and they're very unique anyways. So yeah, that's it. They don't have that big of a fleet either.
From what it looks like, I was told it because how the Dawn and Star just are a little different, but I'm like, what about the Sun and Sky? They're even more different.
Yeah, I mean those are the two.
Between the Jewel class.
Right, exactly. Smaller. Right, it's like a small like change in the design of the ship. Like the pool deck is really the only difference for the extra 2,000 tons.
It's like 1,000 or 2,000 different. It's nothing major.
It's like 91,000 and like 93,000 or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it is. 92 and 93.
Yeah. But pretty cool though.
Yeah. Hopefully it is public or I'm in trouble.
We've got a lot of additional. We've got a lot of additional information we could say that's probably a lot less, I guess, a lot more confidential than that we could have spilled on here, but we won't because our sources would no longer give us things. Our sources would no longer become sources. They would not like us anymore.
Sources will not be sources.
The sources will no longer be sources. They will hate us. So for our sake of getting the information, we will keep that stuff private.
MSC, I know what you're doing.
I have heard MSC's plans, and it's insane. Okay.
Yeah,
I have heard that.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I've heard that from you and your source, and I've also heard it from a different person. So MSC's got some pretty cool plans coming up. So I'm excited.
Give me a cruise, or else.
Give you a cruise?
MSC, give me a cruise, or else.
Yeah, that's right. Ransom. We've got your top secret information. But yeah, like I mean, I've heard some things like from a little bit of things from like all the cruise lines. It's kind of cool, like I guess being like in that type of position. Like I'd love to share all of this information with everybody, like of course, but like yeah, for the sake of I don't want the cruise lines getting mad at me as well because I already am trying hard enough to get in with them. But and like doing whatever they give content creators, they don't give us much, but that and yeah, I'd like to keep my sources happy. So
yeah,
but yeah, anyways, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here though. Again, probably a little bit shorter of a podcast this week, but stay tuned again for next week. We have a special guest, Cruising with Calandra. Go check him out on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. I don't know if he's on anywhere else. But cool guy, and he is currently on the MSC Miravilia, and he will be on here next week for us to do a little bit of review of the ship and MSC. So stay tuned for next week, guys.
Sweet.
Bye.
All right.
Peace.
Thanks again, Caleb, for joining in this week. And of course, thanks as always, Dimitri, and thanks to everybody for listening and watching. We'll see you next week.
Of course.